It was early morning. There was a slight coolness in the air, and the dampness of the night could still be felt on the ground. The sun was slowly rising from the horizon, as if preparing to tell the world a new story. In this peaceful moment, a journey begins. Jesus Christ is walking with his disciples. This is no ordinary journey. It is a moment deeper than understanding, where every small detail points toward a greater truth. The path was silent, yet even within that silence there was a strange intensity, and then a human feeling emerges. Hunger. Yes, that simple, ordinary feeling that every human experiences. This moment reminds us that despite spiritual greatness, Jesus Christ was also going through the needs of a human body. This is not a distant, detached figure. This is a living, feeling human being. From a distance, a tree appears. A fig tree. Its branches are full of leaves. From afar, it looks vibrant and full of life. The leaves are dense, their green color shining, and all of this creates a sense of hope. When there are so many leaves, there is usually fruit as well. This is a principle of nature, a silent promise. Jesus Christ moves closer to the tree. With every step, the hope increases. Perhaps something will be found here, something to satisfy the hunger. But when he looks among the branches, a strange truth reveals itself. There are leaves, but no fruit. Think about this moment. A tree that looks complete from a distance, but up close, its reality is entirely different. This is not just a botanical scene. It is a symbol, a living example of the difference between outward appearance and inner reality. And then those words are spoken words that have puzzled people for centuries. Jesus Christ says that no fruit will ever grow from this tree again. A curse, a decision, a command. Hearing this, the first reaction is often, why? Is this not harsh? Is this not unfair to a simple tree? But if we look at this scene only on the surface, we will miss the real message. This story is not about the tree. It is about human beings. The fig tree held a special meaning in that time. When leaves appear, fruit usually comes with them. The leaves are not just beauty, but an announcement that fruit will also be found here. But what happened here? The announcement was there, but the reality was empty. It is just like a person who appears religious on the outside, whose life seems colored with worship, whose words are beautiful, but inside, the spiritual fruits, truth, mercy, justice, are absent. These are the people who appear to be much, but give nothing. In this moment, Jesus Christ is not merely addressing a tree. He is challenging an entire mindset, an entire society. This is a silent protest against hypocrisy, against false appearances. And the deepest part is that none of this is accidental. This is a planned, symbolic act, a living parable, a lesson not given through words alone, but through action. Think about it. If he had simply said hypocrisy is wrong, people might have listened, nodded, and forgotten. But when a green, flourishing tree becomes lifeless before their eyes, that image stays in their minds forever. This moment forces us to reflect on our own lives. Are we like that tree? Do we only have leaves, or do we also have fruit? Is our devotion merely outward, or does its impact show in our character? There is another subtle idea hidden in this scene: the concept of time and accountability. The tree was given its chance. Its outward state was observed, but when its true reality was revealed, the decision came immediately. It reminds us that everything has its time, and every life has its reckoning. The disciples are watching all of this. Perhaps the same questions are forming in their minds as in ours, but they are beginning to understand that this is not an expression of anger. It is a message they will need to understand and later carry to the world. And from here, the story is no longer just about a tree. It becomes a mirror for every person, for every era. Because in every age there are such trees, and in every age there is a need to recognize them. The night had passed, but what had happened yesterday could still be felt echoing in the air. Morning rose again with its light, but this time the scene was slightly different. The path they had walked on yesterday, they were now returning along the same way. Jesus Christ and his disciples. With every step, that tree must have been coming to someone's mind. That fig tree, green and full, then suddenly deserving of a curse. But perhaps no one had yet fully grasped the depth of that moment. Maybe it still felt like a strange incident, an act beyond understanding. Then suddenly, their eyes fall upon the same tree. But now, it is no longer the same. What seemed alive yesterday is now completely withered, not just from the surface, but from the roots, from within. The entire tree has become lifeless, as if every sign of life has been drained from it. This was not a slow process. It happened instantly, completely. Seeing this, one person stops. Peter the Apostle. There is astonishment in his eyes, wonder in his voice. He says, Rabbi, look, the tree you cursed has withered. Think about this moment. This is not just an observation. It is the beginning of a realization. The words spoken yesterday now stand fulfilled today. Words that were not just sounds, but power. Peter the Apostle's reaction is completely human. When we witness something extraordinary, our first instinct is to point it out, to be amazed by it. But behind that amazement, there is something else hidden, a hunger to learn. And from here, the story takes a new turn. Until yesterday, the focus was on the tree. Today, the focus shifts to those who are watching. Because the real purpose was never the tree. The real purpose was that those who see it understand it. The withering of the tree is a physical miracle, but behind it lies a spiritual principle. A principle that speaks directly to the heart. Think about it. What does it mean to wither from the roots? It means not just the surface, but the foundation itself has been affected. This is not a superficial change. This is a total transformation, and it teaches us something profound. When truth makes its judgment, it is never partial. There is another layer here, time. Often we expect things to change gradually, but what is happening here is instant. It shows us that in spiritual reality, the rules of time can be different. What was spoken yesterday reveals its full impact today. Peter the Apostle's word, look, is not just informative. It is an invitation to see, to understand, and to learn from this moment. And perhaps this is the same invitation for us. Because in every person's life, there come moments when they see a withered tree. Something that once seemed alive, but no longer has life within it. A relationship, a faith, a hope. And we are left wondering, how did it change so quickly? This story tells us that every outward thing has an inner reality. And when that inner reality is empty, outward beauty cannot last for long. The disciples are no longer just observing, they are connecting. Yesterday's words, today's reality. This linking of events is the process of learning. And through this process, their understanding is deepening. But something more subtle is also happening here. Trust is being built. When Peter the Apostle says, "What you said has happened," he is actually acknowledging something deeper, that whatever you say carries truth. Your words are not empty. This realization is powerful. Because it is not just about understanding an event, but about recognizing the one who spoke. And from here, a new thought is born. If words carry such power, then what is the place of faith? If a spoken word over a tree can cause it to wither from the roots, then what can words that come from the heart do? This question is not fully answered yet, but its seed has certainly been planted. The scene has not ended. It has only opened the door to the next lesson. The air is still moving. The sun has now fully risen, but the light now is not only illuminating the earth, it is illuminating understanding as well. And in the middle stands a withered tree, silent yet speaking. A lesson. Not just for that time, but for every age. The morning light had now fully spread, but what was happening now was not just something to be seen with the eyes, but to be understood with the heart. The withered tree was still standing there, a sign, a silent witness. The words of Peter the Apostle were still echoing in the air. Look. But now everyone's gaze turns toward another person. Jesus Christ. This is the moment where the weight of questions, the waves of astonishment, and the thirst to understand, all wait for an answer. And then, the answer comes. Direct, brief, yet so deep that centuries could pass trying to understand it. Have faith in God. Just these few words. No long explanation, no complicated statement. Just one sentence. But this sentence is not like simple advice. It is a doorway that opens toward an entire spiritual understanding. Think about it. Yesterday there was a tree. Leaves, outward beauty, but empty within. Today there is a withered tree, a result. And now between the two, a bridge is being built. Faith. When Jesus Christ says, "Have faith in God," it is actually a response. But not just to Peter the Apostle's question. It is a response for every person who has ever been astonished, who has ever wanted to understand the source of spiritual power. Here, a very subtle shift takes place. The disciples were looking at the tree. They were focused on the result. But Jesus Christ is lifting them from the result and taking them to the source. It is like someone being amazed by electric light, and someone telling them not to look at the light, but to understand the power from which it comes. Have faith in God. This does not just mean to believe. It speaks of a living connection, a relationship where a person does not only believe, but trusts, relies, builds their thinking, their decisions, their life upon that trust. And saying this here is no coincidence. Because what happened yesterday and today was only a demonstration, an example. The real lesson is being given now. Think about it. If someone focuses only on the withering of the tree, they will see just a miracle. But if they focus on this sentence, "Have faith in God," they will begin to understand a principle. And a principle is always more powerful than a miracle. A miracle comes and goes, but a principle remains. It transforms lives. There is another deep point hidden here, the relationship between faith and outward actions. Yesterday's tree was a symbol, outward beauty without substance. Today's statement is an invitation. Strengthen the substance. In other words, do not just be leaves, be roots. Do not just be appearance, have inner connection. Jesus Christ is not saying, "Do this and you too can wither a tree." He is saying something far deeper. If your relationship with God is right, then a power will enter your life that goes beyond outward limits. This is not easy to understand, but it is possible to feel. Sometimes in life, moments come when everything feels out of control. when circumstances become so difficult that no path is visible. And then in a single moment, a small hope, a small trust, changes everything. This is the very seed that is being planted here. Faith, which is not just of words, but an action of the heart. And there is another important nuance here. This instruction is given in a plural context, meaning it is not for one person, but for all. For everyone who is listening, who is watching, who wants to understand. This means the lesson is not exclusive, it is universal. For every era, every place, every person. And perhaps the most beautiful thing is that this sentence holds its power in its simplicity. In today's world, we seek complexity, detailed explanations, logical breakdowns. But what is given here is simple, yet deep. Have faith in God. To understand it requires not just the mind, but the heart. The disciples may only be listening at this moment, but something is shifting within them. Until yesterday they were only observing. Today they are receiving. This is the beginning of a transformation. And if we apply this scene to our own lives, a question arises. Is our focus also on results? Or are we trying to understand the source? Do we only become amazed by withered trees? Or do we seek the faith that gives life? This story does not end here. It is only laying a foundation. What comes next will stand upon this foundation. And in the middle, one sentence continues to echo, wrapped in simplicity, yet limitless in its impact. Have faith in God. Now that we have come this far with the whole story, that cool morning air, that green, flourishing tree, then its withering, the astonishment of Peter the Apostle, and then that simple statement of Jesus Christ, have faith in God. The question is no longer what happened back then. The real question is, where do we stand today? Because this story is not just an event of the past, it is a mirror of today. If we look honestly, somewhere we are all like that fig tree. In life, we too have leaves. Our identity, our words, our worship, our social image, the goodness that people see. To someone looking from a distance, everything appears fine. Everything looks green and full. But the question is, when someone comes close, when life tests us, when truth looks deep within us, is there fruit there as well? Does mercy come out of our lives? Is there truth in our words? Do we create ease for others or difficulty? Do we only appear, or do we truly give? These are the questions we often try to avoid, because they are not easy to answer. But this story does not let us escape. That withered tree still stands, not just a historical symbol, but a warning, a reminder of what happens when outward beauty hides an empty reality. But the purpose of this story is not just to frighten, it is to awaken. Jesus Christ did not only give a curse, he also showed the way. Have faith in God. This is not just a sentence, it is a solution. Now the question is, how do we bring this solution into our lives? The first step is honesty, to speak truthfully with ourselves, to examine our lives without excuses, to see how strong our roots really are. Is our relationship with God just made of words, or is it truly a living connection? Because fruit always comes from the roots. If the roots are deep, fruit comes naturally. If the roots are weak, then no matter how green the leaves may be, the emptiness within eventually shows. The second step is consistency. Fruit does not grow in a day. It takes time, patience, continuous water, and light. In the same way, spiritual life is also a process. Small daily actions, speaking truth, forgiving, being grateful, helping, All of these together produce fruit. It may not be glamorous, but it is powerful. The third step is sincerity. This is what creates the difference between leaves and fruit. Leaves are only seen. Fruit is felt. Worship only bears fruit when there is sincerity within it. Otherwise, it remains just a routine. And then comes the most important part: trust. Have faith in God also means letting go of control, not trying to manage everything on your own. Sometimes in life, there are moments when a person only has to do one thing: trust. This is not easy, but this is where real growth begins. Think about it. A tree does not create fruit by force. It simply stays rooted, takes in water, receives light, and then fruit comes naturally. In the same way, a person's role is simply to stay rooted in the right place. The rest, God does. And perhaps this is the most beautiful aspect of this story. It frees us from pressure, but not from responsibility. We cannot force fruit, but we can strengthen our roots. In today's world, where everything is fast, where image seems like everything, where people focus more on appearance, this story makes us pause and reflect. Are we also just growing leaves? Or are we truly producing fruit? This question is uncomfortable, but necessary. And if the answer is that we have not yet become a fruitful tree,